No, don't go to his room. Do not, Thomas, do not do this. Oh, don't just barge in there. Oh, no. No. Oh. No. What are you doing? You're like assaulting him. No. Oh, oh, goddamn.
Oh my God.
Holy God. Hello everyone, I am James. Welcome to my channel, Jamie Wren Reacts. We are back with Downton Abbey Season 3, Episode 7. We are nearing the end of the season. 2 more episodes left after this. Can't wait to see how it ends. I really want to see some more movement with Mr. Bates. We did get some resolution last episode. Looks like he will be freed, but I suspect there's going to be some hiccups. And of course, they're still mourning after Sybil's death. Still sad about that one. What the heck? So, if you've been here on this journey with me, thank you so much for your support. Please give me a like or subscribe. It would really help me out. Or you can watch the full-length watch-along videos on my Patreon, where you can also vote for what I watch next. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright. I still can't get over how Sybil's gone. I'm assuming the actress went on to do other things, so I'm happy for that if that happened, but sad to see her character gone. Okay, Bates, are you getting out? You look like you're dressed to get out. Wow. Finally. So I guess this has been a few weeks later? Oh, they sent the car for him. I wonder how long he was in prison. How long he was actually there. Oh, God. Yes. Look at you, Bates. Looking good. Wow. Oh, this must feel so good.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God. And you.
Yes, she stuck by him. Find you a woman who sticks to you like Anna. Anna's the best. Look at that view. It must be marvelous for Bates. It's good to be home.
Welcome back, Mr. Bates. I have waited a long time to say.
Look at them. Thomas.
Still here, I see.
Mr. Barrow now, Mr. Bates. And yes, I'm still here. I'm busy as a bee.
Welcome back, Mr. Bates.
Thank you, Daisy.
Oh, it's good to have him back. Finally.
The editor's written back, repeating his offer. He asks if I'm ever in London.
He only wants to persuade you to write for his horrible paper.
Still, I think I will go. It seems rude not to, in a way.
Please don't encourage her.
I think it's a good
Why
idea.
not?
I gather you've trapped poor old Jarvis into a meeting.
It won't take long, but he is the agent, and there are things we must get started on, if you agree.
Well, I'm glad you still think my agreement has a part to play.
Stop being so salty, Lord Grantham. He saved you guys.
My dear fellow, I didn't know you were here already.
They let you out at dawn. Thank you for sending Anna in the car.
Oh, nonsense. Where have they put you?
In my old room, Lord. About Thomas.
I'll sort it out, Bates. I promise.
Isis didn't care. She's like, oh, it's you. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't work there anymore, does he? Oh, will he get his job back? Or another job?
When Robert asked you to?
Well, that luncheon was to support Cora in her grief. Did not seem appropriate to let the whole thing end in chaos and a quarrel.
So you don't think I should have given Ethel a second chance?
Do not criticise your motives, but did you really consider Ethel is notorious in the village?
I don't think so.
I know so.
Really?
I think one must fight for one's beliefs.
And is poor Ethel to be the cudgel by which you fight your foes?
I was just telling Lady Grantham. how your cooking has come on.
I'm studying, my lady. These days a working woman must have a skill.
But you seem to have so many.
Oh, Jesus, Granny. You have so many zingers. Oh my God.
It's done nothing wrong.
You can't have expected to stay my valet once Bates was released.
There's Carson. He'll have some ideas.
Yeah, Carson will make it work somehow.
Has Branson said anything more about moving out?
He's our responsibility now, Robert. He and the baby. We owe that to Sybil.
Yeah, come on. Grantham. Lord Grantham. Stop being so rigid.
I expect you'll be looking for something to do, Mr. Barrow. Now that Mr. Bates is back.
Bring up the sore subject, would you? The elephant in the room.
The estate we hold in hand. And some large new parcels in addition.
But don't you see, if we invest in new machinery, new methods and new techniques, the whole estate must benefit by it.
This is ridiculous. Downton has existed for hundreds of years in perfect harmony. We have worked with the farmers as partners. Now you want to blow it all to smithereens.
Of course I don't.
Mr. Crawley, you're very new to our way of life here.
I beg your pardon. Must I remind you of the state the place was in a few months ago?
The money was lost in a bad investment.
Yes, and you've been bailing the place out with Cora's fortune. You have been for years. Downton must be self-supporting if it's to have a chance of survival.
Yeah, that's the real talk right there.
You've given us plenty to think about, hasn't he, Mr. Jarvis?
He has indeed.
Come on, Matthew. Put your foot down. You are Aren't they supposed to be co-masters? It's hard for change. Lord Grantham does not take change easily. Oh gosh, look at her. She's always crying. I don't blame her though. Uh-oh. Dowager Countess feels bad, I think.
How can you say that when you keep telling me to find something to do?
I meant run a local charity. Or paint watercolours or something.
Well, I'm going to London to see the editor tomorrow. And if I like him, then I'm going to say yes. I don't want to fall out with Papa. But I don't want to be invisible either.
Very well, I'm coming up tonight. I'll see what I can do. But I want a favour in return.
Mm-hmm. About Ethel?
Ethel? What's the matter?
I had rather a nasty encounter in the village, that's all.
What sort of encounter?
Mrs. Bakewell refused to serve me. In the end, her husband did, but it wasn't very nice.
We shall take our business elsewhere.
There's no need for that, Ma'am. I'm used to it.
You shouldn't have to be.
Mrs. Crawley, I like her. She's trying her best to help her. It's hard for Ethel. Look at that baby. That's a peaceful baby. That is like a really good baby. I haven't heard her cry once. Beautiful baby.
It's all arranged with the Catholic Church in Ripon.
Weren't you going to tell us?
You and Matthew. I didn't think the others would want to know.
Please give them a chance to behave properly.
Wow. I can't believe that baby. That's so cute.
I wondered if you'd be a godmother.
She's her aunt.
Am I allowed to be?
As long as at least one of them is Catholic. And my brother's coming over. He'll stay in the village.
No, he won't. He'll stay here.
He's a bit of a rough diamond.
I'm very fond of diamonds.
Mary's been really good this season. She's been exceptionally good on her best behavior, I think. She's been helping for the most part, yeah. Look how happy they are, just taking walks.
I still can't believe I'm here. Keep pinching myself.
That weather sucks though. Look at that mud.
They'll have to give Thomas his notice.
Mr. Barrow.
Mr. Stick It Up Your Jumper. He'll have to go.
Huh. I don't think so.
Revenge is sweet.
They can't get rid of Thomas. I mean, the show can't. He's too good of a character.
Look at him. He can't even balance it.
Leave him alone.
It's a flipping insult just because he's 10 foot tall. You're right. I've got a good mind. Don't do anything you regret. These things can be managed, but not by losing your temper.
That's finally some good advice. He's trying to help him, I think.
You make a cosy couple, I must say.
I don't think so.
It's not what I've heard. Alfred says he's always going on about you. Silly, sloppy stuff. Alfred's sick and tired of it, and no wonder.
Really? Oh my gosh, O'Brien. Uh-oh, she's trying to trick him into making a big mistake. Oh no, he's gonna do something and then he won't be able to get out of it and have to leave Downton again.
You've asked Murray to come here without consulting me.
I felt I wasn't explaining things well, and I know he can.
Oh, lovely, what a treat.
Oh, Lord.
Scrape me down and get me a spare napkin.
I'll take that.
I saw your cook in the village today, Isabel. She seemed upset.
Yes. Mrs. Bakewell was rather unkind. It seems a pity that even in this pretty little village, people can be so unforgiving.
Some people are unforgiving, others are insensitive.
Okay, like you, Lord Grantham?
What time do you leave in the morning?
I thought I'd get the 10 o'clock. I'm meeting him for tea.
You're not encouraging this.
She hasn't agreed to anything yet.
Mamma, talk to her. Talk to all of them. Say something sensible.
Yes, let's hear how a woman's place is in the home.
I do think a woman's place is eventually in the home, but I see no harm in her having some fun before she gets there.
Oh, Granny, thank you.
And another thing, I mean, Edith isn't getting any younger. Perhaps she isn't cut out for domestic life.
It's kind of a backhanded compliment.
My brother has a garage in Liverpool. He's asked me to go in with him.
The brother who's coming to stay?
Yes, Kieran.
Why is he coming here?
For the christening.
Oh, Lord Grantham. Okay, what are they going to talk about?
Telling Papa.
Mm-hmm.
You berate me for not wanting to take responsibility, and now you tell me off for doing just that. You can't have it both ways.
You can't win, yeah.
I can if I want to. What's the matter?
Do you think I should see someone?
What?
If there's anything wrong, then it's obviously my fault. You know what they told us when I was wounded.
Darling, please don't worry. I'm sure there's nothing wrong.
It's probably something... I'm sorry to say, it may be something with Mary.
What are you saying? Mr. Carson doesn't like me. No matter what Alfred does, he still prefers him. It's not bloody fair.
Well, I love you.
If you do, you're on your own.
Sure I'm not. What about your family? Where are you from?
Don't have any family, not really.
And your mum and dad?
Dead. My dad was killed in the war and my mother died of the flu. I haven't any brothers and sisters.
Wow. Damn. Man, he had a hard life.
We both like to look very sure of ourselves, but we're not so sure underneath, are we? Still, you no need to worry. Mr. Carson may prefer Alfred, but nobody else does.
Huh. Are they starting to get along more, or what?
You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I know what's going on.
You're quite wrong, Miss O'Brien. He's a proper little ladies' man.
Oh, that's how you want to play it.
What are you going on about?
There's no need to bark. I only know what Alfred tells me.
Well, if he says Jimmy's interested in me, he's lying.
What, dear? Was it supposed to be a secret?
What is O'Brien doing? Trying to get him to make a move on him and then get in trouble? I don't think this is going to end up well. If he tries something on Jimmy, Jimmy might act very badly, like even violently, because he didn't like it before. He didn't like him touching him or anything, so I would not do anything unless he clearly makes a move, which he won't, because I don't think he's that way. Thomas, what are you gonna do?
Oh, Ivy. I'd love to be out with you like this. I wish we could make it a regular thing.
I can't. I won't want you to get the wrong idea.
Look, I'm sorry,
Man.
but Jimmy's just not interested.
In front of all the other girls too. The other girls like, what are we, chopped liver?
He flirts with me. He does.
That doesn't mean anything, flirting.
Would that make a difference?
I'd have to hear it from his lips.
This is bad. This is like a love, not a love triangle. It's like a love rectangle, trapezoid. I don't know. It's a tangled web. Uh-oh. Some ominous music right now. Something's gonna happen. No, don't go to his room. Do not, Thomas, do not do this. Oh. I get, he must be lonely, yes, but no, don't do it, Thomas. Don't just barge in there. Oh, no. No, 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 no. He's like sleeping, man. Come on. No. Oh, O'Brien is so evil. O'Brien, she hasn't done anything bad in a long time, and she's... Oh my god, no. No. Alfred's gonna see this. Oh. No. No. What are you doing? You're like assaulting him. No, 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 no. Oh shit. Oh goddamn.
Oh my god.
Holy god.
Alfred, it's not what you think.
Oh my god.
Don't do that, please. Alfred doesn't matter. No one will believe a word he says. He's nothing.
What are you doing? Why are you in here?
Because of what you said. Because of all there is between us.
There's nothing between us except my fist if you don't get out. And if you tell it...
But what about the things you said?
I said nothing except get out. Go on, get out, Thomas.
Oh, Jesus.
What is going on?
Nothing, Mr. Carson. Jimmy, James had a nightmare. He's fine now. Yes.
Alfred. Now he has... I mean, this is terrible for Thomas. Now Alfred has what he needs to get. Oh. Now he has something against him. O'Brien set him up. And then, Thomas, you're smarter than this. I can't believe you fell for it. And why did you go in so hard? Like, crazy. Sorry, no pun intended. Toast.
What is it? What's going on?
That's Mr. Barrow.
It's nothing. Really.
Doesn't seem like nothing.
Mosley just says what's on his mind. He doesn't care.
You look very tasty yourself this morning.
What did you say?
What kind of red-blooded man compliments a pretty girl?
Not a breakfast, for heaven's sake.
Jeez. Yeah, trying to overcompensate.
Alfred, what's happened?
No.
I love how Mosley just... he's like, no filter. Oh, Lord. Okay, is this Edith in London? Wow, look at her. She's stylish.
I just felt I had to meet you and see what it would be like.
I assume your father disapproves.
Well, it's the business of parents to worry, isn't it?
Will you please make up your own mind without his advice?
I'll have to think about that too.
You going back to Yorkshire tonight?
No, I'm staying with my aunt.
Here's an idea. Let's have lunch tomorrow at Rules. If you accept the job, we'll celebrate. If it's a no, I'll drown my sorrows. How's that?
I think she's going to take it.
We will get things sorted out. We won't leave you in the lurch.
I'd be grateful if you could let me know when you've made a decision.
I'll talk things through with Carson, and we'll see what we can come up with.
It makes no sense to retain this bit as a separate section. No sense at all. But of course Jarvis won't see that because he hates change.
Just try to carry Papa with you. That's all I ask.
Do you know anything about farming, Tom?
A little. My grandfather was a sheep farmer in Ireland.
What's going on? Have you both been up to something I don't know about?
Not both of us.
Huh, this is bad. This is really bad. For Jimmy.
You keep telling everyone Downton's a dual monarchy now. I never realized you didn't mean it.
So you're against me over Matthew, the christening, and Edith.
Robert, even your mother spoke up for Edith. Think of that.
She'll have had some reason of her own, of course.
Is she really so Machiavellian?
Yes.
She is Machiavellian. Granny's really good.
I was afraid you'd stood me up.
I'm so sorry.
I saw a picture in the paper of your elder sister's wedding. She looked very glamorous.
People say so.
Am I allowed to say I'm rather pleased you're not married?
Here you are, madam.
I'm a little less pleased. A little while ago I was jilted at the altar, which wasn't much fun.
Oh dear, I am sorry.
Is this a new man for her?
I clearly put my foot in it, and now you'll turn the job down. Please don't.
I won't. Not if you don't want me to.
Oh, she's gonna accept?
Can't we allow things to evolve more gently, as we did in the past? The third Earl nearly went bankrupt, the fourth only saved the estate by dying, and what would you all have done in the 90s without Lady Grantham's money?
Must we talk in this way?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Yeah, speak frankly.
We have another chance, but we have to change our ways. The estate has been run very wastefully for many years.
I won't listen to this.
Now, come on, Jarvis. If I can listen to it, so can you.
No, Lord Grantham, I can't. To be accused of malfeasance and corruption.
Nothing of the sort.
Oh, my dear chap, my goal is to find a way of least disruption. Won't you stay and help me with that?
My lord, will you give me a good reference?
So stubborn. Good riddance, Jarvis. You suck.
How was it?
Matthew.
Jarvis has resigned.
What?
He's gone. And I'm going to have to make it all work, or I've had it. Come here.
You'll make me untidy.
Good.
He just needs a hug.
I believe I can make Downton safe for our children, if we ever have any. But I can only do it if you're with me.
But what about Papa? I do love him.
Love him, by all means. But believe in me.
Yeah, you gotta stick by your man. You're married now. I mean, you should respect your parents, but you're married now. You're committed to each other.
Will that convince you?
No.
Convince me again.
Yeah. You gotta stick to each other. Jarvis was a fool, though.
Don't
Man.
say, if we ever have any. Because we will.
I don't think they will. I think they're gonna find out that something's wrong with Mary.
What if Mr. Carson finds out you knew all along and you never told him? Supposing he's in on it?
No, he started yelling at Thomas as soon as I walked in.
Yes, I'm sure he did. As soon as you walked in. What if you hadn't walked in?
Oh, Brian.
Mr. Carson won't tolerate these sort of shenanigans. And he'll be furious if he finds out you knew and you said nothing.
Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian. Stirring the pot again. Everyone has been on their best behavior. I haven't seen anything from O'Brien. Or Thomas, really. But,
And
wow,
what
she looks
exactly
cute.
does this business consist of?
Automobile refurbishment.
He means car repairs.
And you would live nearby?
We've rooms over the garage. There's a bit of a park not too far away.
Well, that's something.
How did you get on in London?
Well, as a matter of fact, I've got an announcement to make. Listen, everyone. You have a journalist in the family.
Oh. Since we have a country solicitor and a car mechanic, it's only a matter of time.
How was the editor in the end?
Nice. Very nice.
Huh. How nice.
He has broken all the fundamental laws of God and man. Report him, as you should, and then stand back and enjoy his fall.
Oh, Brian.
You've placed an advertisement in a magazine to find a job for my housekeeper.
Granny feels that for Ethel's sake, she should move elsewhere.
Oh, nonsense.
Don't suppose there's any beer?
Haven't you had enough?
Of course we have beer. We must have some somewhere. Carson?
I believe so, my lady. I'll fetch it.
What's the betting we'll have a chorus of Molly Malone before we finish?
You're the one pushing Tom into his brother's arms. This is not what Sybil wanted for him. She told me.
I'll bring the beer in a moment, sir.
It isn't so bad here after all.
He needs to get through the night.
Mrs. Hughes, you've always taken an interest in Ethel. Do you think I'm wrong?
No, while Ethel is in this village, she is doomed to be lonely. But if, as her ladyship suggests, she can get a job far away from here...
And with a respectable reference, which of course you can give her...
I can't get over how you've planned all this without a word to me.
Mrs. Crawley, I hope you don't see me as an intolerant person.
No.
Because I agree with her ladyship. In a new place, where she can start again, Ethel has far more chance of happiness than in reenacting her own version of the Scarlet Letter in Downton.
Yes.
What is the Scarlet Letter?
That is a good
A
point.
novel by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
That sounds most unsuitable.
I hated that book, reading that book in school. I think that's good. I mean, she need a fresh start where no one knows her.
Thomas was doing what?
That's what I saw, Mr. Carson.
And what was James doing?
I think he was asleep. He got very angry.
As he should have been, by God. You will not speak of this to anyone. Is that clear? I don't want to hear the subject even mentioned in the servants' hall.
Very good, Mr. Carson.
The world can be a shocking place, Alfred.
Okay. What are you going to do, Carson?
Ethel, are you happy?
Well, I suppose I'm happy compared to what I was before.
You see, Never mind.
I think she knows the answer. She doesn't look happy, right? She looks sad.
When is Jarvis leaving?
I'm not sure.
But he was your father's man. To him, you were always the young master, never the chief.
Which does not alter the fact that now we must find someone else.
But you've already found him.
What do you mean?
The answer to 1,000 different questions is to give the position to Branson.
Tom.
Oh, well, if he's the agent, we can call him Branson again, thank heaven.
That's a mad plan.
It's not. Tom and Matthew can work on the new ideas together. They're the same age.
But what does he know of farming?
His grandfather was a farmer.
In a small way.
Which means he has more practical experience than Jarvis ever had. Think of the child. You cannot want your only granddaughter to grow up in a garage.
Don't we owe this to Sybil?
Come on, do it. It's a great idea.
I'll do it on one condition. No, two.
No
First,
condition.
Matthew must agree. Second, you will both admit it when you realize you were wrong.
Oh, well, that is an easy caveat to accept because I'm never wrong.
I love Granny.
This is a criminal offence.
We hadn't done anything.
But you were hoping to do something if Alfred hadn't come in.
It's not against the law to hope, is it?
Don't you get clever with me when you should be horsewhipped.
This is bad.
Am I mistaken in any part of this?
Not really, Mr. Carson.
He's going to get sacked. Going to get let go.
I was very drawn to him and got the impression that he felt the same way. I was wrong.
It seems an odd mistake to make.
When you're like me, Mr. Carson, you have to read the signs as best you can because no one dare speak out.
I do not wish to take a tour of your revolting world.
No.
That's so sad. I feel bad for Thomas.
That James is the innocent party in all this.
Yes, Mr. Carson, he is.
At least he didn't throw him under the bus.
He'd be within his rights to report you to the police, although I'm quite sure it won't come to that.
Oh, I feel bad for Thomas. He's not a great person, but he is also a human being. He deserves love like anyone else.
Human nature's a funny business, isn't it?
Why didn't the poets come to you, Mr. Carson? They'd have saved themselves a lot of time and trouble.
Man. The christening. Take a photo. Oh, look at
If
that.
you could all form a group around
Look
the
at
father.
her. Oh my gosh, how cute.
You want to go next to
Oh, Sybil's not there. How sad.
It seems so strange without Sybil here.
Ever so slightly. Thank you so much.
You want me to take on the running of the whole estate? It's a big job.
Think of it as a christening present from Sybil.
It's a wonderful idea, Tom. I'm ashamed it wasn't mine.
Perhaps one with the grandfather holding the baby. And maybe the great-grandmother with him.
Oh, that's so
What
great.
about Father Dominic, who christened her?
Oh my god, there.
What's the
That
matter,
is
Rebel?
weird.
Are you afraid you'll be converted while you're not looking?
Oh, that's great. That is great. Oh boy. Well, okay, great episode. Great episode. Okay, that was Downton Abbey Season 3, Episode 7. Great episode. Bates finally got out. That was awesome. He didn't have much to do in this episode, but I'm really glad to see that that all got resolved. Edith got a new job. It looks like, I think he was the editor. I'm not sure. He's from the paper, but does he have interest in Edith? Are they going to start something here? I don't know. She said he was really nice, and that came up a couple of times. I think they met up. I don't think that was just a throwaway scene. I think that means something. Maybe there's something something developing there. I really love how Matthew and Branson are becoming like buddies. They're fellow brothers-in-law. That's really special. I really love that they're like together and helping each other out, and that they're both not from like nobility, really. I mean, Matthew's a distant cousin, but they're not from that life. I really love seeing that. I really love that Branson's gonna stay, you know, there in town, basically, actually gonna be working for Lord Grantham. I don't know exactly what an agent does, but it sounds like he's gonna be taking over all of the, I don't know, business operations. I'm not really sure exactly. It looks like he's the new Jarvis, and Jarvis, I didn't like that guy, and they really need to get with the times. Times have really changed. Lord Grantham especially seems really resistant to any kind of change. I guess that's understandable though. Looking forward to the last couple of episodes. I'm hoping there's going to be some crazy stuff going on just to kind of end on a dramatic note. I kind of like that. If you've been here with me on this journey, thank you so much for your support. Please give me a like or subscribe. That would really help me out. Or you can watch the full length watch along on my Patreon, or you can also vote for what I watch next. And with that, I'll leave you. See you next time. Bye now. Hello everyone, I am James. Welcome to my channel, Jamie Wren Reacts. We are back with Downton Abbey Season 3, Episode 8, the penultimate episode. What an amazing season. Basically, it's been pretty crazy. The biggest surprise is that Sybil died. I'm still not over it. Even though it was 2 episodes ago. I'm wondering what else they have in store for these last 2 episodes. Let's get right into it. If you've been with me on this journey, thank you so much for your support. It means everything. If you like this video, if you like this content, please give me a like or subscribe. It'd really help me out. Or you can go watch the full length watch along on my Patreon, where you can also vote for what I watch next. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. I have no idea what's going to happen these last 2 episodes. I heard there's still more to come though, from judging from people's comments. Luckily no spoilers, so again, no idea.
I think it's held up very well, all things considered. How's the house team coming on? Because we're taking this very seriously in the village.
Nobody takes it more seriously than his lordship, Dad. Whatever he likes to pretend.
I cannot hide that I find your situation revolting, but whether or not you believe me, I am not entirely unsympathetic. You have been twisted by nature into something foul.
Wow.
I think it better that you resign quietly, citing the excuse that Mr. Bates has returned. I will write a perfectly acceptable reference.
I see.
Wow, this is tough. What a time. What a hard time to be a gay man, or LGBT in general.
I'm not foul, Mr. Carson.
Yeah, he's not foul.
I'm not the same as you, but I'm not foul.
Yes, well...
I never thought I'd be so sympathetic and empathetic toward Thomas.
Come along, Miss O'Brien. Time to stop eavesdropping and do some work.
I don't know what you...
Yeah. Stop eavesdropping and stop trying to destroy him.
We should be all right. We've still got Thomas, thank God.
Won't he be leaving soon?
Not before the match, if I've got anything to do with it.
Thomas is a great cricket player.
It's so unfair the outside staff play for the village. But I'm captain of the house team.
If I were you, I'd be captain of the village. They always win.
Not always.
That's so symbolic, isn't it?
What were you doing in London? It's worn you out.
Maybe. I'll try and rest tomorrow.
A little bird tells me Mr. Carson has made up his mind to deal with Thomas after all.
It's about time.
If you want to register your anger at how Thomas treated you, now is the hour.
I'm not sure.
How?
But if you don't speak out, people might think you weren't disgusted at all. Oh, you must excuse me. I ought to be upstairs.
Oh, Brian, just leave it alone. It's over. Oh my gosh, she just can't.
You couldn't be in better hands than Dr. Ryder's, truly.
I hope to God you're right.
She must have seen a doctor for about her health, fertility. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Women's stuff.
Uh-huh.
Your ears must have been burning earlier. Papa was discussing the cricket match.
The village thrashed us last year. I suppose I'll have to play. Bates must count himself lucky to be out of it.
I think he'd like to walk normally, sir, even if playing cricket was the price he had to pay.
Of course it would. I'm so sorry. That was stupid of me.
Oh, there's absolutely no question that some people have a feel for it. And I think cricket's like anything else. When you learn it as a child, there's an understanding that is hard to come by later. And with a father like mine, I was brought up with cricket in my blood.
Mosley's really into cricket.
I didn't work at the house until this year. I could hardly play for the village team.
The village team is really good, huh? He's saying he couldn't make it. But he could make it on the house team.
She must be 18 by now. Little Rose, 18. How scary.
Lily Rose?
Well, I couldn't say no. Her mother is my niece and my godchild, and she asked it as a special favour. Apparently, she hates London.
She hates London, so she's coming to a great aunt in Yorkshire to have a good time.
Well, don't be silly. Of course you will.
No, I won't. I'd like to help, but I've never played a game of cricket in my life. Oddly, the game was never part of my childhood.
I'm with you, Branson.
The fact is, I've never played cricket.
But couldn't you try?
Robert, stop being such a bully. Let's just have a nice dinner.
I've never played cricket. I'm fuzzy on the rules of cricket, so you have to forgive me of my ignorance of cricket. I've watched matches, but I don't know what's going on half the time.
I'm afraid I've heard Mr. Carson's going to let him off.
What can I do about it?
Unless he's going to give him a bad reference, you're going to tell the police.
I couldn't do that, could I?
Why not? And what you have to.
Patmore, step in.
It's a good job that's supposed to be eaten cold.
O'Brien, why must you try to destroy Thomas now? Is it worth it? Like, to do that to him? He's gonna be gone. That's good enough.
Rose, wouldn't it be better if she stayed here?
No. I'm quite looking forward to it.
I couldn't manage an 18-year-old. Not these days. I wouldn't know what she was talking about.
The thing is to keep smiling and never look as if you disapprove.
Good night, Barrow. You do know I wish you every good fortune.
I believe so. Thank you, my lord.
Why do I feel so sad about Thomas? I used to hate this guy. I don't know. Oh, Bates and Thomas. I wonder how they feel about each other now.
To the victor, the spoils.
What will you do?
Oh, what's it to you?
You're right. It's nothing to me.
It's nothing to me. People say that often.
You're on my team now.
Okay. Oh, this is kind of cringe. I don't know. Maybe because I don't like Mary.
Why, haven't you missed me?
Desperately. But London seems to have tired me out.
She's going through something health-wise. Is she getting had a procedure done or something? And she just can't be intimate? It must be something like that.
Mr. Carson, is it true Mr. Barrow's leaving?
I think he was genuinely mistaken over the incident and is sorry now, which, of course, is no excuse.
I want to be sure you'll give him a bad reference.
I'm sorry.
I can't let a man like that go to work in innocent people's houses.
I will write him the character I think he deserves.
This is bad.
I ought to report him to the police.
What?
It was my duty.
I do not believe in scandal. Mr. Barrow will go, and when he does, I would like him to go quietly, for the sake of the house, the family, and for that matter, you.
Yeah, that would raise the profile of everything.
But I can't stay quiet if my conscience prompts me differently. I won't turn a blind eye to sin.
Oh my god. Is this going to affect Thomas really negatively? And is Thomas... he looks kind of depressed and lonely. Oh, don't tell me this is going to cause really harm Thomas. I can't believe I'm feeling very empathetic toward him right now, but that just sucks. I mean, O'Brien, what are you doing? And Jimmy, think for yourself, man. Even Carson is like, just let him go. Lily Rose? Wait. She looks familiar. I don't know. She has a hat on, so I can't tell.
Bring us some coffee.
Oh, I'm not supposed to drink coffee. My mother doesn't approve.
Would you like something else?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm to leave with no reference. After working here for 10 years.
I'm afraid my hands are tied.
Does his lordship know about this?
No.
Then I'm going to tell him.
And how would you do that without telling him the rest of it?
This wasn't Jimmy's idea. Somebody's put him up to it.
Yeah. Carson, you should know better too. You should know it's O'Brien.
Stay here for a day or two while I come up with some sort of plan.
Thomas looks devastated. I mean, he looks like he's at the end of his rope. Look at him. He looks like he's gonna like harm himself or something. Or harm somebody. It's messed up.
I think it's nice. Or it will be when it's got a lick of paint.
I can do that.
Together, I think we can make it really comfy.
This is the house they were looking at before, I think.
You being in this room is enough to make it nice. Come here.
What the? That's too dramatic, Bates. Well, he's been in prison. Can't blame him. He's like, let's just get to it.
Edith, you should take Rose over to Whitby on Wednesday when they have their market. She'd enjoy that.
I can't. I'm going to London on Wednesday.
Oh, well, could I come? Oh, but you've only just got here. I thought you hated London.
Who told you that?
Susan.
Oh, darling mummy. I'm planning a surprise for her. And I need to go to London to arrange it. You won't give me away, will you?
Won't you stay with your parents?
Oh, well, I can't. That would spoil everything. You can stay with me. Aunt Rosamond won't mind, and there's plenty of room.
I don't even know where you're going.
To see my editor, to discuss my article.
Huh. I smell a scheme.
I might come up with you to London. I'll ring the office in the morning. I can stay at my club.
Don't do that. Aunt Rosamond would love to have you. And I suspect I'll need help controlling Rose.
Why do you say that?
I'm not sure. Instinct. And so grateful to all of you for helping with my secret. Besides, with Edith as my chaperone, what harm can I come to?
This is trouble. I already know.
We'll be farming a third of the estate directly.
And you can manage that.
We think so, but we need you to think so too, because Lord Grantham definitely won't.
Are you drawing up the battle lines? Poor Robert. The post-war world is not being kind to him. What about Sibby? I want to be lonely for her. Just you and Nanny and nobody else.
Sibby.
I think it's right for both of us.
Oh, he doesn't look good.
What in heaven's name are you doing out here?
This is not good.
I know you're leaving, but things can't be as black as all that.
It
You're
can.
trained now. You can apply for a position as a butler.
You don't know everything then?
Then will you tell me everything?
Well, I'm afraid if I do, Mrs. Hugh, that it will shock and disgust you.
Shock and disgust? My.
She's the one that's going to understand the most. You're telling the right person, Thomas. I think so.
The Dowager, that is, has been concerned that your history here has left you lonely.
She's going to concern herself.
It's not just that. She believes that you've made this house a local topic of unwelcome conversation.
Okay.
So she's placed an advertisement for you, and she's got some replies.
Uh-huh.
You would go to your new position with references from me and from Mrs. Hughes, and you would not have to refer to your earlier life. In effect, you'd be washed clean.
What an offer. I think that's a good offer. Especially in these times.
You know Matthew wants to come with you to London.
Why shouldn't he?
I just need to check which train you're planning to come back on. Can you promise not to let him catch an earlier one?
Of course not. What reason would I give?
You can think of something. Please.
What's going on?
Why is everything always so complicated?
What's the timing for?
We'll talk about it when Matthew gets back from London. Can't I even have a clue? He should tell you. Matthew has some ghastly scheme for the estate, and Tom's too frightened to say what it is.
Why is everything so ghastly?
You cannot allow him to blackmail you like this. And before you ask, Thomas has told me the whole story.
I'm only sorry you had to listen to such horrors.
Why? Do you think Thomas is the first man of that sort that I've ever come across? Well, he isn't. And I'll tell you something else. I think James may have led him on.
What? Oh, I cannot listen to such allegations.
Calm down. He may have given Thomas the wrong impression without meaning to. I won't sit by and let that young whippersnapper ruin a man for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Not a man who was wounded in the service of king and country.
You tell him, O'Brien. Hughes, Mrs. Hughes. I keep calling her.
If we stand up to James and he goes to the police, it will only put Thomas in prison, which he will not thank you for.
You got to get something on James. Or get to O'Brien. Find out what it will take.
Expecting the love nest.
Just fetching some coal.
What are you doing here? Something's gonna happen I feel something very bad.
I envy you.
Whatever you say.
I mean it. A happy couple and everyone's so pleased for you. Can't imagine what that's like.
Perhaps you should try being nicer.
It's being nice that got me into trouble.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
What are you gonna do? What's going on?
We'll be gone soon. You'll be glad of that.
Yes, I will be.
This is very suspicious. And what are you doing there just staring, coming out of the shadows? That's just weird and creepy.
Count on you, Mr. Molesley.
Oh, I'll say. There's not much I don't know about cricket.
So, with his lordship, Mr. Crawley and Mr. Branson, we're already 10.
What about you, Mr. Barrow?
I think I'll be gone by then.
Yes, you will.
Stop. Oh my gosh. O'Brien and Jimmy are getting on my freaking nerves.
I find I'm rather impatient to get the succession settled.
Luncheon is served, my lady.
Is it just us?
Yes. Tom's on the other side of the estate, so he said he'd eat in a pub.
He's hiding from me until Matthews told me the worst.
Probably.
Calm the F down, Lord Grantham. Jeez. I'm seriously fed up to hear with Lord Grantham. He's become my least favorite character this season.
I thought we'd all have dinner together, and then we can have a proper catch-up.
If that's what you'd like, but please don't let me be a nuisance.
I insist. A good family gossip will be my payment in kind.
Then of course we'd be delighted.
Good. We dine at 8:30.
8:30. Uh-oh. Rose is up to something. Is she like trying to find time to get away to see a lover or something? Or a phone?
Hello, operator.
It's got to be something like that.
I've been through those replies to her ladyship's advertisement. There was a nice letter from a Mrs. Watson, but it was near Cheadle. Cheadle's very close to where Mr. and Mrs. Bryant live.
Oh, I see. And you feel that would defeat the purpose?
Don't you, ma'am?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. It's a pity if it was the only one that was appealing.
So it looks as if I'll be staying on.
Okay. Mrs. Crawley actually likes her being there, just the dowager that's pushing for it because of, I think because she feels bad for her.
Gentlemen. I'm not sure how professional it is of me to point that out.
Well, it's jolly nice of you.
Now, I've read your piece. Of course, the plight of ex-soldiers. It's not an obvious topic for a woman scholar.
I felt so strongly about it, I thought it was worth a try.
No, you misunderstand me. I like the idea of a woman taking a position on a man's subject. And I was going to say, don't be afraid of being serious when it feels right.
Really?
Really? No, I think we're onto something new here. The mature female voice in debate.
I don't like the sound of mature.
No, balanced?
Yes. Let's go with balanced.
By any chance looking for something to do?
I am, but sadly I'm spoken for.
It's a pity. But you will let me know when you're up in London again.
It's a new love interest for Edith.
Thomas. He's going. Good riddance.
I don't know. Something he said. I might ask Mrs. Hughes. She usually knows what's going on.
Ask Mrs. Hughes what's going on. Thomas, I feel like Thomas is going to do something bad to himself. Oh my gosh, look at how she's dressed. She's like, she has like a secret boyfriend or something, right? That's why she got sent away, because she's like causing trouble for her mom, right? I mean, that's what I think. She's like a crazy child. I don't know.
Now I understand.
You're not too shocked, then?
No. But why is Mr. Carson? It's not as if none of us knew.
I think the point is we didn't know officially. That's what Mr. Carson finds hard. He can't avoid the subject any longer because it's lying there on the mat. And it's true we won't help Thomas by putting him in prison.
I wouldn't wish that on any man.
He knows, because he's been in prison.
Imagine me feeling sorry for Thomas.
Exactly.
Life is full of surprises.
Me too. I feel sorry for Thomas.
Why should your delicious dinner be spoiled just because Rose has forgotten the time?
It's my fault. I shouldn't have let her out of my sight.
Nonsense.
Me? What is
Uh-oh. Trouble. Trouble. This is trouble.
Driver who took up Lady Rose from outside the house, milady.
Where did she go?
First to Warwick Square,
And then you took her on somewhere?
I eventually was set outside for the best part of 2 hours.
What the heck is going on?
They said they wanted to go to a club, the Blue Dragon, on Greek Street.
And what sort of club is that?
Well, you know.
Jazz club. Okay, she wants to party. She just likes to party. Okay, but they're at a jazz club, which is like really new at this time. This is like the swankiest kind of thing to do, and also looked down upon. Okay, there's like Chinese stuff here, lanterns, black musicians, jazz. This is kind of scandalous, actually, from what I know. Okay. There's Matthew. They're like in shock. They are in shock.
This is like the outer circle from Dante's Inferno.
The outer circle?
The inner circle.
There she is. Heavens, what a transformation. Presumably is the friend she spent 2 hours with in Warwick Square.
Oh my gosh. She's out having fun like an 18-year-old should, but it made it seem so scandalous, which it is during this time. It is. To go to a jazz club like this, dressed up like this, dancing like this. Okay, now I know why her mother sent her away.
How on earth did you find me?
How do you do?
It's Terence Margadale.
Well, how do you do? Please sit down.
Tell me, where is Mrs. Margadale?
She's in the country at the...
Terence used to work for Daddy, so he's more of a family friend, really.
Oh, so Cousin Shrimpy will be pleased to hear about him, will he?
No, please.
Why did we dance?
Matthew's gonna get to the bottom of this. That's a great band.
Now look, I think I can just about get Rosamond and Edith to keep their mouths shut if you come back with us now and have nothing more to do with this man. At least not until you're out of our charge.
He's terribly unhappy, and it's not his fault at all. His wife is absolutely horrid.
A married man.
Always have horrid wives. I suggest you meet Mrs. Margadale before you come to any final conclusions.
You're wrong. He's in love with me. He wants to marry me just as soon as he can get a divorce.
Girl.
And when will that be?
Well, you see, it's terribly difficult.
Yes, I thought it might be. Now, are you going to accept my conditions, or do I throw you to Lady Rosamond?
Why are you helping me?
I'm on the side of the downtrodden.
Taylor's old as time. This dumb girl believing that guy that he's getting a divorce.
Rose is feeling rather tired, so we're leaving. Won't you at least stay for a...
No. She's so dumb, but she's young and dumb.
When's Mr. Barrow leaving?
I'm not sure.
He's lost his job. Why can't he just go? I find it very awkward.
Why do you have to be such a big girl's blouse about it?
I'm sorry, Mr. Carson, but I won't change my mind.
Wow, you're being a dick.
Suppose you know who's put him up to this, Mr. Carson.
O'Brien.
What did he say?
He was sticking up for Mr. Barrow.
Is this because of Mr. Carson not giving him a reference? I don't think it's right, do you?
Yes, I bloody well do think it's right.
Okay, stop being an asshole. Jeez.
You know nothing about it.
What's happened? What did I say?
I shouldn't get involved, dear. If you'll take my advice, I should stay out of it.
Oh, jeez, O'Brien, you're one to talk. O'Brien, this really is going too far.
I'll write to you as soon as I hear. But it's extremely unlikely there is anything wrong at all. This may prove an expensive journey for you.
Dr. Ryder. Has my wife been to see you?
I'm not aware of treating her, Mrs. Crawley, but even if I had, I could not possibly comment on it.
Dr. Ryder, that's the same doctor that Cora mentioned.
I can't bear to think of her being worried when I know very well that if anyone's to blame, it's me.
It's not you.
I'm not sure blame's a very useful concept in this area.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, they mentioned Dr. Ryder. Cora mentioned that name, so I remember that, so it must be the same. Okay, he knows. He's gonna see someone he knows.
Mrs. Levinson for Dr. Ryder.
Uh-huh. Time to talk.
Why did you go without saying? When I knew all along it was me.
You know nothing of the sort. In fact, it was me.
What do you mean?
There was something wrong with... Actually, I can't talk about this sort of thing, even to you.
You sound like Robert.
The fact is, it meant a small operation.
What?
It's all right. It was weeks ago. That's why I've been keeping you at arm's length.
Yeah, she had a procedure done.
I thought you'd gone off me.
You need to talk about this stuff, but I don't know how appropriate it is during this time period.
Get in touch with him in 6 months' time, but that I'll be pregnant before then.
So, now we can start making babies.
That's good. Good news. At least she got treated.
Mummy wouldn't understand.
Nor do I. What were you thinking? A respectable, well-born young woman going out with a married man?
Rose knows that it all depends on her behaviour for the rest of her stay. One false step and I shall personally telephone Lady Flintshire.
The married man part is terrible, but going out to a jazz club and stuff like that, that's fine. Although I see why they get shocked. I mean, they called it the outer circle of Dante's Inferno. It's like hell, basically. Although Lady Rosamond's called it the inner circle.
Rose, you've obviously read too many novels about young women admired for their feistiness. Do you think they will keep quiet? I expect so, as long as you stick to your side of the bargain. Even Cousin Rosamond? She didn't like being made to keep the secret. Probably because she knows that Granny would be furious.
Oh, great. Granny heard. Now she's like, she's gonna find out. She has her ways.
You see? How I turn it. First this way, and now that.
The intricacies of cricket. I have no idea.
Is Mr. Carson really not giving Mr. Barrow a reference? What will he do if he hasn't got a reference?
Well, he could always go abroad. He might do well in America, Mr. Barrow.
Seems a bit drastic. Why should he go abroad?
Keep your nose out of it.
Shut up, Jimmy.
It's a very difficult subject for him to discuss.
I can imagine, but it's not as if we didn't all know about Barrow.
That's what I said to Mrs. Hughes.
I mean, if I shouted blue murder every time someone tried to kiss me at Eton, I'd have gone hoarse in a month.
Wow, okay. Didn't know that.
But who'd do that? Who's got it in for Barrow?
Miss O'Brien.
O'Brien? I thought they were as thick as thieves.
They were, yeah.
I've spoken to your mother. She has a new plan for when you leave here.
Well, aren't I going back to London?
Oh, no. It's so horrid and dusty.
What is Mummy's plan?
They're opening Duneagle early. Your Aunt Agatha will keep you company.
Alone in Scotland with Aunt Agatha. She can't be serious. This is all because I went up to London to see Terence, isn't it? How did she find out who gave me away?
You gave yourself away.
I don't know who Terence is. You're to stay for the cricket match and head north the next day.
Perhaps I'll run away.
Not this time.
I won't be held a prisoner forever.
No, one day you'll be older and out of our power, but not yet.
How are you going to control her? Granny, I don't know. Even you can't control 18-year-old like this.
There was a time when nothing was too bad for me as far as you were concerned.
You do know Miss O'Brien is behind it.
Knew someone was.
Come on, Thomas. You should have known.
Doesn't it bother you that she'll get away with it?
Not really.
There must be something you know about Miss O'Brien you can use against her.
You've heard of the phrase, to know when you're beaten.
Then give me the weapon and I'll do the work.
Dude,
what can I say that will make her change her mind?
Dude, you got Bates on your side now. That's something. Come on, Thomas.
Many of the farmers' families have been at Downton for as long as we have.
But we need to see more profits from the farms.
Here we go. Profit, profit, profit.
We cannot go forward with no income.
But why not tackle it gradually? Perhaps buy some time by investing your capital. I hear of schemes every day that'll double whatever's put into them, or treble it.
You failed at that, though.
Schemes offer high rewards. Very few deliver them.
Well, there's a chap in America, what's his name? Charles Ponzi, who offers a huge return after 90 days.
Ponzi.
But if I could find out...
Robert, the last time you took an interest in investment, you ruined the family.
We're giving the farmers a choice. That's all.
We need to build something that will last, Papa, not stand by and watch it crumble into dust.
What about the tenants? What about the men and women who put their trust in us? Is this fair to them? I don't believe so.
But isn't the most important thing for them or us to maintain Downton as a source of employment?
So you're against me too?
It seems to me your plan adds up to carrying on as if nothing's changed, to spend Matthew's money keeping up the illusion. Then when we've fallen into a bottomless pit of debt,
will sell up and go. So yes, I believe Matthew is right.
I see. You seem to be agreed there's no place for me in all this.
You're being stubborn, Lord Grantham. I'm seriously fed up to here with him. He is so backwards thinking in everything. The world, financial stuff, family stuff, everything.
Michael Gregson, of The Sketch. Just some general stuff. His education, what he's done since then. And a little about his private life.
Michael Grigson of The Sketch. That's like an ironic name for a newspaper, The Sketch. That's Sketch. Okay, there's O'Brien. I think the only thing he has against her is if he knew about what she did.
I don't know why you're doing this. You don't even like Thomas.
Because I know what it is to feel powerless.
Yeah.
To see your life slide away and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
He's trying to do what's right, which I respect. He sees someone being really wronged by O'Brien.
Can I get you some tea?
If I'm staying long enough. I don't know what it is Mr. Bates wants to see me about.
You'll have time for tea.
Bates, are you going to be able to convince her?
Well, I am surprised to find that you're a fan of Mr. Oscar Wilde.
You've known about Mr. Barrow all along. So what's changed now?
Perhaps I've come to my senses.
I want you to persuade Jimmy to let Mr. Barrow have a reference.
Why would Jimmy listen to me? I won't do it.
I think you will.
Does he know that what she did to the lady Grantham?
I'm going.
Sort it out by this evening.
Oh?
Or you'll find your secret is no longer safe with me.
Damn! What did he tell her?
I'm just saying, I think you've made your point. To let it go now would be the gentlemanly thing to do.
They'd think I was up to the same thing. I wasn't a proper man.
But this way, you'll come across as merciful.
I don't think he's going to listen anymore. You've already...
You sure I won't be made to look a fool?
Far from it.
Why were you listening to her in the first place? Jeez, you dumb boy.
Well, I'm glad that's settled. But I suppose Barrow will have to go.
My lord?
He's so good at cricket. I know we were soundly beaten last year.
That's all he cares about is cricket.
I thought we just wanted him to have a reference so he could find work when he leaves.
I know, but now that I think about it, Carson ought to insist that he stays on.
He might not want to stay, my lord. After the unpleasantness.
I think he will, but don't forget the cricket.
I won't, my lord.
Jesus, all you care about is keeping things the old way in cricket.
See? Hammer grip. It's firm, but tender. Cherish the ball. Don't crush it.
I love Mosley and his enthusiasm for cricket. I kind of want to learn from him.
I heard his lordship wants him to stay for the cricket match. And even if he does, it won't be for much longer. He'll get his reference and go. Good riddance.
Alfred, just stay out of it. Stay out of it.
I'm going over to Windmill Farm to see what we can do with the outbuildings. Would you like to come with me?
I'm sure you can manage on your own.
He wants to dictate how things are done, but he doesn't want to get his hands dirty. He doesn't want to go see firsthand things like...
He's putting a good face on it. But you know he wants you with him on this.
I should not serve him well. I don't have the instincts for what he wants to do.
Every man or woman who marries into this house, every child born into it, has to put their gifts at the family's disposal. I'm a hard worker and have some knowledge of the land. Matthew knows the law and the nature of business. You understand the responsibilities we owe to the people round here, those who work for the estate and those that don't. It seems to me if we could manage to pool all of that, if we each do what we can do, then Downton has a real chance.
Come on. Lord Grantham, come on.
I'll think about it.
So stubborn.
One condition.
You play on the cricket team?
You play cricket for the house. You said it yourself. We all have to do what we can do.
All he cares about is cricket. That's all it takes.
For God's sake.
Such an easy...
If it means that much to you.
Okay, in a way, Branson, you have to do what you are asking Lord Grantham to do. He doesn't understand how much it means to you, and then you don't understand how much it means to him. So just do it.
Didn't expect to find me here. No, Lady Grantham wrote to me explaining your wish.
It was only that Mrs. Watson had answered the advertisement.
I know the circumstances. As it happens, I've been uncomfortable
about keeping a mother from her son. And although I would not want to confuse him until he's much older, if then...
We wouldn't have to confuse him. I'm his old nanny who was employed by you when he was first born.
But what about when he talks about you to Mr. Bryant?
You will please leave Mr. Bryant to me. Now, Ethel, you must write to Mrs. Watson today and get it settled.
I don't trust that Mrs. Bryant can deal with Mr. Bryant. He's a terrible man.
Barrow is to stay on. What would he be? My valet?
You can make him under butler, and he can apply to be a butler when he does leave.
But that would make him my superior.
The question remains, how do we convince James?
It's his lordship who wants Mr. Barrow to stay on, so I think his lordship can bring it about.
No time to learn anything. Shouldn't I just trust a beginner's luck?
Certainly not.
He's gonna have the best game when they have the match, isn't he?
Elbow up.
I want to learn.
Teach me to fish, to ride, and to shoot, but I'll still be an Irish Mick in my heart.
There. See? You're getting the hang of it.
I would totally take some cricket lessons.
It's unexpected. Not inconvenient.
She really wants to see him.
To just say it.
Please do.
I had the impression on my last visit that you were flirting, giving signs that you found me attractive. If I'm wrong, then I apologize.
You're not wrong.
But since then, I have discovered that you are in fact married.
Yes.
I'm afraid I find the idea of a married man flirting with me wholly repugnant. So you'll see, I must hand in my resignation at once.
No, it's true. I am married.
I am familiar with the institution of marriage.
Yes. But not with this one. My wife is in an asylum. And she has been for some years. It took me a long time to accept that the woman I knew was gone.
Then why haven't you got a divorce?
I can't. A lunatic is not deemed responsible. She's neither the guilty nor the innocent party. Tied for the rest of my life to a mad woman.
I hope this is true.
I can't begin to tell you how much it cheers me to read your column and to meet when we do. I hope very much you'll consider staying on.
Wow. The irony, because they caught Rose with a married man and now she's with a married man. Technically, they are married, but it's not the same situation, of course, but it's just the irony there. Okay, look at their outfits. Wow. Look at that. That looks so cool.
Yes.
I can't believe they're wearing such white, off-white colors.
Everything's settled with Ethel. But I trust you can find another cook without too much difficulty. If Ethel wants to be part of her son's life, even a little part, who are we to stand in her way?
Of course, if you had had to sell Charlie to the butcher to be chopped up as stew to achieve the same ends, you would have done so.
Granny has her ways of getting things done, but she gets things friggin' done. Okay, what I do know of cricket matches is that they last a friggin' long time. So, I do know that. These uniforms and outfits are awesome. I love seeing this.
Oh, sure, sir.
I wonder how accurate this is to the time. Let me know in the comments, like, what you think or what you know.
Well played, Barrow. Thank you. Excellent innings.
Thought I was helping him get out of our lives for good. Now he ranks higher than I do.
You can't have everything. Well, maybe he'll treat you differently now.
What's that phrase he gave you to say to Miss O'Brien? You can tell me now, surely.
It was her ladyship's soap.
What?
I can't make any sense of it either, but that's what he said. Her ladyship's soap.
Who told you to say that? So he knows. Well, he doesn't know what it means, but he knows.
But we could do with a bonus. Don't worry about me, my lord. I'll show them a thing or two.
Mosley, you're all talk. Oh my gosh, Mosley, you're all talk.
As usual, our expectations are disappointed.
Mosley. Oh.
Was it you? Certainly not. Because in case you don't know, I'm being sent north tomorrow with a monster for a jailer.
Well, what did she expect, carrying on with a married man as if her home were in a tree?
How could you have done that? After you promised.
But Mama said you told her. I just filled in the details.
I never said a word.
Granny.
I only did what was necessary.
Granny is so good. You guys are so dumb to fall for it, but Granny is so sharp.
Thank you, my lord.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to thank you for your generosity with Barrow. Letting him stay on shows a real largeness of spirit.
Stay on? Mr. Barrow's staying on?
As under Butler, I was given the impression you'd allowed it. You won't mind too much, will you? Oh, and by the way, congratulations on your appointment as first foot...
What? Thank you, my lord. Very much.
Hey, you gotta give something to get something. You have to give something to get something. That's how it works. I figured he would get a promotion of some sort to even it out or something. Uh-oh. What's this? Alfred. Who is that?
Looking for a Mr. Alfred Nugent, my lord.
And you are?
Inspector Stanford and Sergeant Brand, York Police.
Uh-oh.
He's made a complaint concerning a Mr. Thomas Barrow. Criminal nature on another of your employees.
Oh my God. Alfred, why did you stick your nose?
I'm not asking you to abandon your beliefs, Alfred. Just to introduce a little kindness into the equation.
Am I not to stand up against evil?
Evil? Thomas does not choose to be the way he is. And what harm was done, really, that his life should be destroyed for it?
Alfred, this is terrible.
Just as I thought, there's been a mix-up. Alfred here witnessed some roughhousing between two of the staff and misinterpreted it.
I made the call before I knew what I were doing. I'd been at the cider.
What? Oh, I think we can overlook it this once. Don't you, Carson?
Lord Grantham.
Oh, you see, I'm afraid there's really nothing to investigate. I'm terribly sorry to have wasted your time. Would you care to have some tea?
Oh, Lord Grantham, finally you've done something that I'm glad about, because you have had like 10 strikes in a row. Alright, this music is making me feel better, but this is like Sybil's music. Where's the baby? Oh, there she is.
Where's Nanny?
Gone to get some baby paraphernalia. Shall I tell her you're looking for her?
No.
Yeah, who cares about the nanny? You're here with the baby. I think they'll have a baby. They're just having they're having troubles that lots of couples have while trying to conceive, okay? It's not easy to get pregnant.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
If I were to say I'd live with you while Sibby's little, and that we wouldn't move out until she's old, would you mind?
I should be delighted.
Yeah, just stay.
And I know it's what Sybil would want.
Yes, I think she would.
I think you're right.
Stick with the family. Stay together. Why live apart?
Tom says Robert's ready to get behind the plan.
I'm glad. So we'll be building a new kingdom while we make our little prince.
I'm looking forward to both enormously.
Things are turning out well. I don't know. I'm very skeptical still. Something's gonna drop. Something is gonna drop. It can't be that easy. Look at me, I'm so suspicious.
All right. Let's give it a go and see what the future brings.
Okay, good work, Tom. Look at Carson. Yay! Good job, Tom. Wow. Oh, look at them. Look at that picture. The three of them. That's great. That is great. Ah, I love that. How that ended. Happy ending. Oh my gosh. After a season of sadness. Wow. Okay, so that was Downton Abbey Season 3, Episode 8. I really love that episode, although I felt wary about what was going to happen to Thomas. I thought he was going to, like, off himself or harm himself or something like that. He just looked really down. For someone who I really disliked, at least in the beginning of this show, I couldn't believe I was feeling sorry for him. Even Bates was amazed at how he was feeling sorry for Thomas. So I'm really happy to see Tom and Matthew and Lord Grantham coming around and starting to sync on their thoughts on the future and everything. O'Brien is just making me sick. I couldn't hate her more right now. And James, I don't know why he's listening to her. That's crazy. The new character, Rose, I mean, is she really leaving? I mean, she's supposed to leave the next day, but I don't know why they would introduce a character like that just for one episode. I don't know what's going to happen there, but it was kind of scandalous for her to be not only at a jazz club, but with a married man. And then with Edith, ironically, she was interested in a married man. She didn't know it at the time. And of Of course, it's not the same situation. I hope he's telling the truth, that his wife is in an asylum and he's kind of stuck there. That's kind of sad, and he must be lonely too. So I think that's going to be something that's going to develop and go into the future episodes and seasons. I hope so. Edith needs to be happy too. She deserves it. I'm still not over the death of Sybil, but I am glad that they're showing the baby. Is she going to grow throughout the rest of the seasons and episodes, and we're going to see that? Is she going to be like a character as a little kid or a child? I'm not sure. They don't really have that many children as characters in this show. At least Tom and his daughter are going to be living with them in the house. And I think there's one more episode. I don't know if it's like the last season where it was kind of like this Christmas episode separate. I'm really looking forward to that, and that will be the end of the season, so I can't believe we're here. I have other thoughts on this series and this season 3, but I'll wrap up what I think after the last episode. I just want to say thank you so much if you've been here with me on this journey. Your support really means a lot. If you like this content, if you like this video, please give me a like or subscribe. It really helped me out. Of course, you could watch the full-length watch along on my Patreon, where you can also vote for what I watch next. And with that, I'll leave you. See you next time. Bye now.